Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be my updated foundation routine, and I've been telling you guys that I'm going to be filming this for the longest time. The reason why I was putting it off for so long is because I've been trying out tons of new foundations, and also, as you guys should know, I had a really bad experience with my skin near to the start of the year for the first 2 months or so. And it's finally cleared up, so I didn't really feel comfortable filming it then, and also because I was having to pack on so much makeup, it really wasn't an everyday routine, it was like a over-the-top routines. Now that I've really settled down and my skin is kind of settled, although I have a lot of breakouts on my forehead from stress, but anyways, it's really settled down, and I feel comfortable showing you it now because I've been using this for about a month. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking and get into the video, but I do kind of talk a little bit about the products that I use. But if you want a review on anything that I show you guys, definitely leave a request down below and I would be happy to do it. So if you're interested in seeing how I do my foundation routine, then please keep on watching. And by the way, don't be scared of my makeup free face. It's coming in like a couple seconds because it's pretty bad. So yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the video. Okay guys, so my skin, as you can see, it's got no makeup on right now. It's completely clean. Do excuse my wet hair, by the way. I'm just going to chuck that behind my head. I've got a headband in just to keep my hair all out of my face. And yeah, if I've got a list, it's because I am wearing my rubber bands, so just thought I'd point that out now. So you can clearly see all of my scarring. Majority of what's on my face right now is actually just scarring and like discoloration from the scarring. I knew I was a person that scarred really badly until I started going on acne medication. Then I noticed the scarring. I don't know if that was a side effect or if it was the cream that I was prescribed, which I was going to show you what it was, but I don't know where I put it. But it's pretty much my entire chin is scarring. There is not a single active blemish on my chin. Hopefully you can kind of see the scarring. I've got 1, 2, and then my forehead that's active. But this here is scarring, this is scarring. It's just a whole lot of scarring, which is good in a way. I would rather have scarring than active pimples because scarring is so much easier to cover. It's not even funny. So I'm going to start off by applying a primer, and the primer that I use is the MAC Prep and Prime. I just take a pump of that and I apply that all over my face. But I have 2 questions for you today, guys. I have one that is, if you guys know of a good pore primer, like a good sort of pore filling primer, because I do have kind of enlarged pores around my nose, that you'd recommend to me, then please leave it down below. A second question that I have is if you guys know of any products that are either directly marketed at removing and like lightening scarring, or if you just know like a face wash or something that's really good for that, or a scrub or something, please leave that down below as well, because that would be really helpful for me. And I'd be sure to apply that primer all over my face, one that I just used, just so that my entire face is evenly primed, because I really don't see the purpose unless it's like, as I said, a pore filling primer where you don't need to apply it where your pores are enlarged. This is just skin primer, so I apply it all over. Now I'm going to mix my 2 foundations, and they are Natureluxe and Colourstay. I'm 110 Ivory in this one and 305 Alabaster in this one, which I'm pretty sure both of these, I think this is the lighter shade and I think this is one of the lighter shades. So I'm going to do about 50-50. I pour it onto a surface, not onto my hand. Like, I know a lot of people sort of mix on the backs of their hands, but I feel like that it's not as sanitary and you also lose product. So yeah, about 50-50. The colours are almost identical. I think one's more yellow and one's more pink, so it kind of just ends up being neutral. You can be the judge. The darker one is the Covergirl, so this is going to be good for in the winter. Then I just take the end of a brush and mix it together. Okay, so now that's mixed, you can see it's all one solid colour, all one solid sort of appearance. Like, if you use a really oily kind of foundation and a really thick one, it'll look kind of like 2 different textures, so make sure that they are mixed properly. And I also spread it out on the surface quite a bit, so it wasn't so sort of one tone. Sorry, sort of one big blob. I don't know where tone came from. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that all over my face with my favourite brush, and it is my Sigma F80. This is a flat top Kabuki brush. Now if you have the e.l.f. one, if you want to try this but you don't have the money, definitely go for the e.l.f. one first. See how you like it. A lot of people think that they're just as good, if not the e.l.f. one's better, but for me I prefer the Sigma one. I'm not just saying that because I was sent it for free. I just feel like it's slightly like, this one kind of moves around a bit more, this one's like more dense, I think the word is, I don't know. It's just a lot better and I prefer this one so much. So what I do is I just pat my brush into the product. I'm just going to show you on, I'll show you on the worst side of my face so you can see the coverage. And I just stipple it, like as if I was using a stippling brush. I'm kind of just like really patting it onto my face. And I just take it in small sections just so that it doesn't kind of dry too fast, because you know the Colourstay really has that reputation. Although I think because it's mixed with the Natureluxe, it's not, you know, as prone to like drying super duper fast, but just in case. So you can already see the difference that this has made to my skin. My scarring is greatly reduced, like it's barely there anymore. All I need to do is just use a little bit of concealer, or you can just apply a little bit more foundation. So I'm just gonna do the rest of my face, but I'll just show you now. What I do after I've stippled it on is I just lightly sort of buff my brush and sort of swipe it over the surface of my skin just to make sure that there aren't any lines or streaks or anything like that in my foundation. But you can see it's a really great match for my skin. It's not too thick, it feels really, really nice and natural. And I'm just going to finish off the rest of my face and I'll come back to show you the rest of the things that I do. Okay, so now that I've done that, I just went ahead and applied a lip balm. The reason why I did that is because when I apply my foundation I'm really sort of messy and it kind of goes over my lips, and I very rarely wear a light lipstick, so I just do this so it makes it a lot easier for me to get the concealer off of my lips, otherwise I look like I've got cracked, gross lips. So yep. Now I'm just going to go ahead and conceal my face, and to do that I use my MAC Studio Finish Concealer. Looks like this, it's in a little eyeshadow pot style thing, and this is in NW20, and I take this, sometimes I'll use my fingers, sometimes I'll use a brush. Today I'm using a brush, and this is a Sheercover brush. The reason why I'm using this is because I'm assuming that it's similar in sort of style, I guess, to the MAC 217, which is just like a blending kind of shader brush. It's the same sort of shape and style. It's a lot bigger and I don't think it's quite as dense, but same sort of idea. Until I get my MAC one, I'm going to use this. And what I use this for is I use it for underneath my eyes, because I use two brushes for concealer. This is the first one. I use it for underneath my eyes, as I just said. I don't really have that bad under eye circles. They're quite light at the moment, depending on how much sleep I have, obviously. I've been sleeping really well lately, so they're quite light. And then I also use this brush for going over my larger areas of scarring. So for example, my chin, I just pat it over there and just sort of feather it out. So anywhere where I have sort of like a cluster of scarring, so I have that, I showed you before, I have it on my chin, over here, and I also have it on my forehead. So just doing this makes it a lot faster than just taking forever, like individually spotting on each scar, if you know what I mean. Okay, so now that I've finished putting it over my larger areas of scarring, I'm going to do some spot treatment with the concealer. I like to take a really little brush like this one. This one's from Dior. Might be fake Dior, I don't know, but it's a really tiny little brush. Same concealer, I just take a little bit of it and I just sort of use this brush to dot it directly onto the blemish, and then just using clean fingers I just pat it really gently just to blend it out. Normally, because I have quite a number of blemishes on my forehead, I would just use the brush, but because these are active and they're quite red and raised, I need to individually do them. And if you're wondering why all of a sudden I have like a billion pimples on my forehead, I think they're stress pimples from my assessment that I had, and I had to do another assessment, so was kind of stressed out all of a sudden, so that's probably what it's from. So now that I've concealed everything, you can see that my skin is looking a lot better. It's not 100% you know, flawless, but that really isn't what I'm going for. This is my everyday routine. If I was going out for nighttime, I would spend longer packing on concealer, but this still looks, you can tell that I've got makeup on, but it looks quite natural, you know. I can do a routine for you guys if you need to see one that is very, very natural. I'd be happy to do that, but this is the one that I do generally every day. Now for powder, I use the MAC Sheer Loose Powder, which looks like this. It's just a mineral kind of powder. Looks like that. What I do is I take it on my e.l.f. Complexion Brush, which is a really nice sized powder brush. I'll show you it in comparison to my one from Artiste. It's quite small and it's sort of tapered, no, flat. It's like a paddle brush. It's like squeeze, whereas this one's just huge and round. much prefer this one. So what I do is quite different to other people's techniques. Most people tap it into the lid and then swirl it, but I feel like you waste so much product trying to get it back into the sifter. So what I do is I just touch it on a small pile of the powder, get quite a large amount onto the brush, and then I swirl it into the lid. That way I'm losing less product. And then I just sort of pat it onto my face and then just sweep it over after I've set the makeup. Another brush that I really like for setting makeup is the e.l.f. powder brush, but I only like this with pressed powders. This is a great brush for loose powders, whereas the powder brush is good for pressed powders. But these are both by e.l.f. and they're both around $13 New Zealand, so really, really good price. Okay guys, so I just went ahead and applied my blush, did my eyebrows and put on some mascara. If you're wondering, the blush that I'm wearing is e.l.f.'s Peachy Keen. It's a really, really nice natural kind of nude, but it's got a little bit of peach in there, so it's not overwhelmingly peach. It's really, really gorgeous. Definitely one of my favourites for the month, and about that, I'm so sorry about that video. I will write in the description all about what happened if you haven't already seen it, so my apologies. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Any questions, leave them down below, and if you know of a good pore filler, if you know of a good solution for getting rid of acne scars, or if you know of a good brow gel, please leave them down below because it would be a humongous help to me. You can feel free to leave more than one comment if you've forgotten, but thank you so much guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone!